Hello, California, and welcome to Atomic California. We will be talking about the 2026 primary elections, giving you guys the resources you need to make an informed decision this election cycle. Okay, so the primary election is on June 2nd, 2026. This will be narrowing down the number of candidates that will be on the ballot for the November midterm elections. You should have already received an info pamphlet, something of this sort, as well as your ballot, your mail-in ballot. You can also go in person, and the info pamphlet lists where you can go in person to be able to vote. So, what will be on the ballot? We have a new governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, attorney general, and other major and important roles for California. So please, I would love for you guys to be able to make an informed decision. And as stated before, ballots and voter pamphlets should have been delivered already by mail. I had no clue that there was an election. Oftentimes, lower and middle class Americans are not informed about our midterm elections, let alone about the primaries. Oftentimes, that is given to those who have access to this information. And so, it is my duty to inform the community. So, that's what I'm here to do. This is me kissing you guys on your foreheads because I love you all. So, California. Are you ready for the Hot Mess Express? Because let me tell you, this is a hot mess. So, I have reduced the number of candidates because for governor alone, there are 61 candidates, and I have reduced them into these 6 categories. You have your no chance in hell, tax evaders, we'll get to that, the big 7, your randos, your spiritual nuts, and there's a chance. I also will be referencing my notebook as I have taken notes on every single candidate, every single role that I will be covering in this series so that you, again, can make an informed decision. So let's start. First, we have our spiritual nuts running for this godless country. First of all, we have Living for God and Country Demont. That is his legal government name. As he said below, my legal name, Living for God, means living a life reflecting God, good character of Jesus Christ. Not saying that these candidates are bad options, but church and state does need to be separated. And so that is why they are in this group. We also have Britt Maupin, who says the spiritual overthrow of the government. So what does that really mean? And Lucas Adam Felinsky saying this is the new F-way 6-7 and this is our convent. This is a very odd man. There was 6-7 all over his site. I don't know if that was just a coincidence or if he really meant 6-7. Okay, next we're going to get in our randos.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
And that's the same question that I asked when I was going through these candidates. These candidates listed right here had no information and no website. For me personally, going through all of these candidates, I looked personally for websites and for the information that was given in your voter pamphlet. So a lot of these candidates can write something out to the voters. They did not do either of those, and I do not like social media as an option when it comes to the candidates because that's an easier way to change your tune and the voice of your tune. When you have a website, you're going to put your policies, your endorsements, more about you and all the information that the voter needs to know, and they just simply did not give that to us. These 4 also had no website. There was some voter information about them, but not enough to make an informed decision. Tax evaders. Now, let me say something. Do you really want somebody who doesn't pay their taxes to be your governor? I mean, let's be honest. I really wouldn't want somebody who does not pay their taxes to tell me how many taxes I have to pay. So, when you run for governor, you have to have at least 5 years of tax information given to the public. These people have not paid taxes in at least 5 years. These two in the past 3 to 4 years, and these two in the last 2 years. I will be putting these slides and they will be available on my Substack. So if you click tax, it will take you to, if you click on the photo, actually, if you click on the photo, it will take you to our Secretary of State's website where it lists all of the tax information for each candidate, and you will be able to see if they paid their taxes. Some of these candidates, as you can see with Antonia Villagrosa, which we'll get into, have not paid, do not have tax information for 2025. They had to give their information by March, so some of these people did not pay their taxes before March. So they get a slide, but a small one, and we will continue. Again, no chance in hell. These are the candidates where I genuinely just feel like there should be no chance in hell that they make it to our ballots in November. MAGA D's nuts. Their love for Donald Trump overthrows California, and California will become a casualty. We have them listed here. We even have one from the Big Seven listed here, and we will get into Steve Hilton more. Millionaires to trillionaires. These are people who are telling us, I'm for the people, and I'm for the people, and yet they make tons of money and don't usually pay their taxes on it. We also have a member of the Big Seven on here that we will also get into later. And you don't have a wristband. Simply, you have no qualifications to run for governor. We have nurses and doctors of chiropractics and teachers who are running for governor. And as much as I love for more community members to get involved in the government, I do not feel the governor's seat is the first place that they should be moving for. And so for that reason, I have them as you literally have no qualifications to run California. And as you can see, there's a lot of them on here. But maybe there is a chance. These are candidates who, yes, they're not a part of the Big Seven. They're not a part of the 7 main candidates. But these are candidates that you can still vote for and can still look into to see if they align with you and your morals and ethics. So here we have listed liberal candidates versus your conservative candidates. If you swing either way, you should be able to find a candidate that's right for you. So now, let's talk about the Big Seven. First, I want to talk about, do they really pay their taxes? All of them do pay their taxes gladly. And as you can see, Steve Hilton actually pays the most in taxes. He pays about 36.75% of his average income in taxes, which is amazing. The average American spends about 14% of their average income in taxes. And so as you can see, majority of our candidates actually pay more than us in taxes, except for T. Steyer. And we'll get into him. So let's start off. I want to start off talking about the debate summaries because all 7 of these candidates have been on the stage together a multitude of times, have had conversations, and these are the results in my opinion. Matt Mahan, not a realistic governor candidate. He is the current mayor of San Jose, and I feel as if his policies and his movement are not backed enough by evidence for him to be a great governor candidate. Steve Hilton has realistic plans, but has backing from MAGA and Trump. Chad Bianco, not a reliable candidate. He is very wishy-washy, and he does have a lot of controversies behind him. Tom Sawyer, a fucking billionaire. Porter reliable but feels cheap. And we'll get into that more when we talk about her in depth. Becerra, a career politician. And I know many of us are tired of career politicians taking up space in our government and not listening to the people. So again, would you really want another career politician in the seat? And Villaraigosa has mixed reviews, and we will get into that shortly. So what do you mean by this, Atomic? What should I know about each one of them? Let's get into each one of them. So we're going to start off with Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton is backed by Trump. Trump has endorsed him. He plans to drill more oil in California, especially off of our coastline. He wants no taxes on incomes under $100,000. Works with the British Parliament to get one of the conservative prime ministers elected. Wants to build more single-family homes. Is sick and tired of apartments, and he wants us to have more single-family homes. And says that he will work with ICE and federal regulations. So he does not believe in the sanctuary state that California is. As well, also, if you are looking at the slides off of my Substack and on Canva, you can click on the faces of each of the candidates and it will take you to their websites where you can learn more about them. Next, we have Tom Steyer, a fucking billionaire. Tom Steyer lets us know every time, hey, I'm for the people, I'm for the people, I'm for the people. But he's also worth $2.4 billion. He wants free education, pre-K through college. Wants to tax the rich, including himself. Pays less in taxes than the average American, as we've covered before. Wants to close the corporate loopholes when it comes to taxes. And wants to fight corporations for the people. Javier Becerra, a career politician, has been working in the government for 35 years. He was the Secretary of Health and Human Services, as well as the Attorney General in California. So he has experience working in government. Bad planning. I feel like every time I watch him get on the stage, he just and hugged and butt his way through it. He never really had a solid plan for the American people, and at least nothing that would really help us or benefit us. Possible collusion. He is a part of a collusion case in the federal government, and although he says that he was not indicted and there was nothing against him, that just doesn't seem to be the complete truth. Lined pockets. He just took hundreds of thousands of dollars from Meta along with ExxonMobil. Only focuses on Trump. When he gets on the stage, all he can talk about is Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, and Trump that, and about how he sued Trump a multitude of times for the people, and yet we've seen no reform when it really comes to him. Has 35 years as a politician. Antonio Villaraigosa. Considered a failure to some, he was the mayor of Los Angeles in 2005. Some feel as if he did a decent job. Some feel as if he was a failure. He would love for down payment assistance so that more Californians can afford homes. The biggest part to buying a home is the down payment. And so with down payment assistance, people will be able to afford homes better, somewhat. Wants to reform the Environmental Quality Act. He wants for California to be able to have better environmental protections, but also protections that allow builders to build and things to be moving in California and not everything to be so slow. He's a more conservative candidate when it comes to the liberals. And he actually agrees a lot of times with Steve Hilton, who has pretty damn good plans some of the times. And so Antonio Villaraigosa, he is more in the middle, in the moderate area than some of the other candidates. He wants to hold ICE accountable for the things that they've done. And he does have a controversial past, as he did cheat on his wife with the Telemundo reporter. And so a lot of people feel indecisive about him. Next we have Chad Bianco. He's the current Riverside sheriff. He wants to secure the borders. He does not believe in climate change, as he said that in one of the debates. Wants to focus on nuclear energy, wants no high-speed rail, and wants to invest in law enforcement, even though in his time as a sheriff, he has increased the budget of Riverside's sheriff's office, and yet has a lot of controversies about the number of inmates that have died in custody, has some racist past, and there's just a lot of question around him. Next, we have Matt Mahan, the current mayor of San Jose. He wants to hold big tech accountable, wants to modernize the water, wants a modernization of how the water in California is utilized and, spread out. Really wants to focus on being 100% renewable energy, wants to bring Hollywood back to California, but he is a big proponent when it comes to flock cameras, as he was very excited when flock was installed into San Jose. And if you do not know, flock is controversial in the sense that they do work with the federal government and ICE, as well as having their feeds available, because they do not have the securest of networks. And so people are able to see flock cameras from anywhere available on the internet. And so that is a controversial part of Matt Mahan. I also feel as if he does not have the best plans. And with him being the mayor of San Jose, he says that he's done a lot for San Jose, but we haven't really seen the true results yet. We have Katie Porter. Wants free childcare for all. Wants to abolish ICE in any way that she can. Really is a big proponent for single payer healthcare, which means that every single person will have their own healthcare plan, rather than, children and elderly people being a part of their loved ones' plans. She's really a big proponent on single payer healthcare. She wants to build homes here fast and cheap compared to our other states in the United States. Wants to sue the insurers to bring them back into California and hold them accountable for the Altadena and Palisades payouts that we still have not seen. And wants to be 100% clean energy. Katie Porter does have some great ideas, but she is not doing well in the polls, which is why she feels like the cheap option, is because she's just not doing so well in the polls. She has amazing ideas in the same way that Antonio Antonio Villagrosa has great ideas. She has many of the same ideas as him, but a lot of people do not seem to be voting for her in the polls, and so she is not currently leading in the polls. So who do I choose? We need to find someone who is showing up for you. You want somebody who's representing you and your community, and speaks to the needs of the people. Ethics. You want someone that you will not fear will fail you, and someone who does not conduct shady business. You want someone you can believe in. And the reality is, anyone who enters in politics at some point sells out, and that no one candidate is perfect, and they are all heavily flawed. So please, when you're going about looking for your next candidate to vote for, you find someone who fits what you want to see in California. They may not be perfect, but that could be a step in the right direction. So that's all, folks, to responsible voting. This was the governors, and all of the governors were listed in here. We will be talking about the lieutenant governors next, along with our other state specialty seat. And so to that I say, I hope that this helped you and gave you a good idea. I will be listing this on my Substack, as well as all of the resources that could possibly assist you in making an informed decision. So I just want to say thank you guys so much, and this is Atomic, and shout out to California. I love you, California. Thank you. Bye-bye.